Welcome back. Most of us know the divorce rate in the United States. It's high, and a majority of those getting divorced have children under the age of 18. Now, our next guest helps folks navigate through the divorce debris and assists in creating a healthy two-address family environment for the kids. Well, welcome back via Zoom, The Morning Mix, Andrea Hips. Good morning, Andrea.
Hi, good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Let's start with the effect divorce has on kids. I mean, the CDC actually has a name for this, right?
Yeah, the CDC designates divorce as an adverse childhood experience, which normally we think about sort of potentially traumatic big events in childhood getting that designation, but it also includes elements of a child's environment. Things that might undermine their safety, their stability, their bonding, all of which get, threatened when a family moves through divorce. But the good news is that adverse childhood experiences are preventable.
They are preventable. So given that designation and the situation, of course, some of these divorces aren't exactly pretty at times. What do our kids need from us during the divorce process and then afterwards?
Our kids need from us neuro leadership, which is just a really big word to say that our kids need us to manage our inner worlds, to manage our brains, to manage our nervous systems, and to really become regulated, settled, non-anxious people. A really hard challenge in divorce, but when we can do that, what it contributes to greatly is our child's sense of safety as they move through the disruption alongside us.
Absolutely. The focus here is making sure that these kids are okay. And co-parenting in divorce, that can be parallel parenting. I've heard that term as well, when they just can't seem to get along. You recommend strengths-based parenting. What is that?
A lot of co-parents resort to weakness-based parenting, which is really all I look at is what my co-parent cannot or will not be for me or for my child. With strengths-based co-parenting model, what we're really doing is saying, yes, I see all of your flaws, all of your disappointing characteristics, but instead I'm going to shift and really start looking at what is it that you do well. And I'm going to utilize what you do well. I'm going to lean on what you do well. And at times I might even celebrate what you do well. And I'm going to shift the spotlight off of what it means for you to keep failing me.
Got it. So we're focusing on what the other person does well. And not focused on all the other things that may have caused your divorce. Is there anything else we can do? I mean, we really want to minimize the impact of divorce on children's lives.
The most important thing that we can do as adults when we are moving through a divorce is to develop a stable, committed relationship with our child. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child supports the science that says kids who have gone through a serious disruption and done well after that disruption have had at least one supportive relationship with a stable, committed adult in their lives. And so that's great news for your co-parent viewers who feel like they're the only one who's doing it well or doing it right. It only takes one. When you become that one person for your child, what you do is set them up to be able to learn resiliency, which is really what we want all of our kids to learn, which is the set of skills that they need in order to move through adversity and thrive.
Absolutely. And this is something that, well, it can make people feel isolated when you're going through this. Divorce feels obviously personal, like nobody else is going through this, but there's support, right? I mean, what kind of support exists for those going through divorce as they attempt to care for their kids in this healthy way?
You're right. It is a very solo path. Even if you have the best, what I call boohoo crew around you, you really do have to move through it on your own. And so getting support is critical because even the best of parents are going to find themselves in complex and unexpected situations. And so divorce coaching is a great option for people. I offer that. What it is a carved out thinking space for you to be able to start asking, what is it that I want? What is it that my child needs? What are my patterns of relating, my styles of interacting that are making things difficult? What do I need to add on? What do I need to take off in order to develop truly the most healthy version of myself so that I can offer that supportive, stable, committed relationship, that neuro leadership that we talked about in order to give our kids the best chance at becoming beautiful adults.
And of course, we can get this information on your website. This is what you do for a living as a divorce coach. AndreaHipsDivorceCoach.com is the website. Andrea, thank you so much for the time this morning.
Thank you for having me. It was great to be here.
Absolutely. Make sure you visit the website, or you can follow her also on Instagram and Facebook. Just look for Andrea Hips with 2 P's, Divorce Coach.